Let's move on to education issues. We have a viewer who's concerned about what I used to call K-12. It's now pre-K to 12 education. Wants to know what the legislature, are the significant features of funding and other details that the legislature is going to address this year. Let's start with you, Senator Pratt, then we'll go to Senator Dibble and follow up with Representative McDonald. The floor is yours.
Well, I think there's a tremendous opportunity here. I mean, one of the things that I took on when I was chair of the Education Policy Committee was special education, and that was a hot button throughout the election. We have a lot of mandates on our schools, and a lot of, as the educators have told me, low value requirements that we put on them. I talked to special education teachers who will tell me they spend as much time writing reports as they do teaching their kids, and they didn't get into the business of writing, in order to write reports. Clearly, we're going to have, as budget year, we're going to make an increase to the formula. We should be doing more for special education. The governor ran on fully funding education, and by most of the accounts that I've seen, he's come up to about half of that. And so he hasn't kept his campaign promise from that perspective, but we are going to increase the formula amount. I'm hoping we can stay focused in our education spending and not earmark too much of our money to specific issues, particularly those that really get into the management of the local school districts. I had the opportunity to serve on a school board before I joined the legislature, and I know that the men and women who sit on those boards really are very thoughtful about the needs of their individual district. And the needs of Prior Lake are different than the needs of Perham, and the needs of Shakopee are different than the needs of Sartell. And we need to trust our locally elected officials and our superintendents to make those decisions.
Senator Dibble, K-12 or pre-K-12 education, your thoughts?
There's not much to disagree with what Senator Pratt just said. If we do nothing else in this legislative session, and everyone knows I'm the transportation chair, and I love transportation and want to fund, make sure that people have the ability to get where they need to go and fix our roads and bridges, et cetera. But I absolutely believe the thing that we have the greatest opportunity to do is fund our E12 or K-12, public education. I like to call it E12 because I think early childhood education is extremely important as well. Fully fund special education is such an incredible opportunity that we have. That's a vital service that we provide. It draws from, from a lot of other areas, and we can also increase the per pupil funding formula, which we haven't made up the cuts that we've made in that area since the cuts that we experienced under Tim Pawlenty. We still have not made up the cuts yet. That's incredible. People say we spend more than we ever have on E12 education, and that's just simply not true. We've lost ground and never made it back since those early days that I started in the legislature. So I'm pretty excited about the opportunity. I agree with Senator Pratt. I hope we don't get into, dividing up, and slivering off our ability to fund both early language learner education, special education, and the basic per pupil formula. There's some stuff we can do, some initiatives to make sure that we have, schools that are ready for, diverse student populations, and making sure that we're addressing the achievement gap in communities of color and schools that are highly impacted, et cetera. But this is, I think, the number one opportunity of this legislative session with the surplus that we have.
Representative McDonald, E12, K-12 education, your thoughts?
Yes, well, the governor says we're going to fully fund education, and I agree with both Pratt and Dibble as far as the special education. The federal government, of course, is failing on its commitment to help fund this, and it is costing school districts millions of dollars. So if they're not willing to step up, then we're simply going to have to do the job here at the legislature. So I'm not sure what fully funding education, but I want your viewers just to listen and just know quickly, and I won't go on about it too long. Right now, we're debating a bill on the House floor to feed hungry children. Now, that is a great and worthy cause. We all should be on board. But unfortunately, the bill right now is to feed every single child that's in school, whether their parents have the needs or not. So it's over $400,000 in fiscal year 2023 and $202,000 in the year 2025. So we're going to be spending millions of dollars on feeding children for parents in districts that certainly don't need the help whatsoever. Many of the districts that have free and reduced lunch and kids that simply are going hungry already are being fed. We're now going to pass a bill and spend hundreds of millions of dollars feeding districts that don't have free and reduced lunch, and basically feeding very wealthy people who have the means to feed their children. It accounts to about 2% of funding to feed every single kid in the state during the school year, when that money could be going right on the formula and getting right to the classrooms. I just fundamentally think it's an opportunity lost, and it's taken a big sledgehammer to a problem in Minnesota that simply is not needed. I don't need the state government to pay for my son's meal at all. I can certainly pay enough. I can pay my own son's food at the school on this salary. Well, barely on the legislator salary, but nevertheless. So just for example, and I'll be done with this, Barry, it'll cost about $680 per year per kid. So if you have 2 kids, that's $1,376, whether a family needs it or not. And that's just with 2 children. So I think there's just an opportunity lost to put that money into cross-subsidy and other areas on the formula where it's needed in the classrooms, instead of just with a broad brush throwing money away. I think one of my colleagues calculated it. It's about $120 million that'd be completely wasted on food for whose parents can afford to pay. Our amendments tonight was to raise that poverty level from 175% to 220%. Therefore, we'd fill the gap for those kids who've been going hungry. And I hope at the end of the day that we do have the fully funded education and fix some of the unfunded mandates, because this bill, if it passes, and senators, if you vote for this and the governor signs it, it will cost school districts money. It'll cost them money in many areas, and it'll be just yet another unfunded mandate. So that's all I have to say about that.